Hey everybody, welcome to the Everything Paranormal Show. I'm your host, Josh Morris. And tonight, we're going to be discussing some cool stuff like EVPs. That's right, audio recordings or electronic voice phenomenons. We're going to be discussing some of that tonight. I apologize for those that are maybe trying to watch this live. It is actually almost an entire hour after my normal start time. However, in the real world, I have to work. I would love to stay home and do videos like this for you guys. But until then, I have to work. And unfortunately, I worked overtime tonight at my real job. So, back to my love and passion for paranormal. So, tonight, hopefully the music's not too loud, the background music. Normally, I've been having like guests and everything. I may even turn that down a little bit myself. Hold on, guys. So this is live, so we're not even. I'm not even worried about it. Okay. I got to be able to hear myself think. All right. I don't know. Hopefully, is that better, guys? All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you are watching this either live later. I hope you guys join me, or if you're watching the replay, hey, stick around. I know we're off to a rough start, but guys, tonight I wanted to talk to you a little bit. First and foremost, yes, I have more guests lined up. I've got at least 3 or 4 different guests that are wanting to come on the show. I'm waiting to hear back from them. We're just trying to work out which days and which times. Again, I was going to have a guest tonight, but I had to postpone it because, again, I worked overtime and my guest could not make it. So, again, I'm on here tonight because I wanted to at least do something tonight. This may not be what I would consider a regular episode of the season, but I just think it'd be fun to come on here, see if any of y'all are up and awake and wanting to join this discussion tonight. If not, then again, stick around because we're going to be discussing EVPs. And so one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about is electronic voice phenomenon. And you can consider that through various methods, like through audio recording, spirit box sessions, those type of things. If it's through electronic device and you capture some kind of voice and it's a phenomenon, that's your EVP. Okay, now most common types, now a lot of people are using spirit boxes. Not a huge fan of spirit boxes. Again, I just think there's some weirdness to those myself because you got all these radio stations and scans, and I don't know. I'm a little old school, I guess, but to me, good old-fashioned recorder is really what you need. Now, this one in particular is the Zoom H1N. So, what I like about this is that, first of all, it's omnidirectional. Okay, you can see the little microphones up top. See that? Now, I also like the quality of this because it does seem to do really good at, it's a very good quality, yet there's still just enough white noise and background noise to pick up EVPs and usually do a good job at it. So I'm very happy with that. Now, tonight, I don't know, we may actually do a live EVP session in my own home, just for the heck of it for you guys. Why not? Now, I don't know how good we'll be able to review the evidence, but we may actually just go ahead and do like a live EVP session. Everybody in my house has pretty much went to bed. I've got a small heater over to the side here making a little bit of white noise so that it should be perfect. Hey, Bob. So Bob's saying just couldn't stay off the air. No, I couldn't. I was going to take the night off, but hey, I wanted to at least do something for you guys out there. All right. So getting a little more back into what we're talking about with audio recorders, this is one of my favorites. I've always felt like over the years when I was doing investigations, I think my wife and I, when we did like the video cameras and the audio recorders and just the different tools, I really feel like, or taking photos and stuff, I just felt like every time we do evidence review, the biggest evidence we would get would just be from our audio recorders, and we would get disembodied voices or we would get EVPs. Now, a couple tips for those of you. I feel like that's one of the things that you could probably do. You could probably do like yourself. It's kind of like an amateur type thing where it's probably something I would recommend to people is do an EVP session if they're not sure if they got spirits, hauntings, things like that in their house. Do an EVP session. These audio recorders, you don't have to spend $115 or $50 or whatever this was. You can get them for $30-$40. You can get yourself into one. Just be careful on the filters. If there's a lot of noise reduction, that could hamper it. And I have this one set to the highest quality too, which I like. So Bob says you should never invite spirits in your house. Well, Bob, I disagree. Well, look, let me just put it this way. I'm not saying to invite spirits in your house, but what I am saying is if you suspect that and you feel like you have spirits in your house, hey, I say do an EVP session. Bob might disagree or other people may disagree out there, but I feel like you could do that. You can do an EVP session. So keep drinking, Bob. He's had a few shots of rum. See this. Bob's still on the show. He's just in the sidelines. He's just in the text. So Bob's always on the show. See, but that's good. We love Bob. So, all right. So yes, I am saying that I do think it's fine to do EVP sessions. I think one, you should be respectful. Okay. And also, when you get done, I always, like my wife and I used to always thank the spirits. We would thank, even if we didn't know, because a lot of times, with these, you're not going to get that immediate playback result. They do have some you can do like a quick little playback, but with these, you really are going to want to go home, download it, and listen to it, with your headphones and things like that. But I think that, in all honesty, doing the audio recorders is a good way to go if you're just trying to dabble into hearing if spirits have messages for you, things like that. Again, be respectful, ask some questions, see what they have to say, and if you're nervous, if you feel like, you're opening the door, right? If you're inviting them in or you get nervous or something, then don't do it. Again, do not try this at home then, if that's how you feel. So I just wanted to say, hey, for me, I feel like it's the first thing that if it's the first level, if you're going to experiment, I'd rather you pick up an audio recorder and ask some questions, be respectful, than to run out and get a Ouija board and use yourself as a conduit and dabble in the Ouija board technique, and so don't do that. I don't recommend doing that for your first time or something. So don't do that. But anyways, the things I want to caution you guys on when it comes to audio recorders is, one, try to make sure you control your environment as much as possible. You want to try to get it as quiet as you can in your home. And then when you listen to the playback, you'll probably know when you hear something that you probably didn't hear the first time around. You're going to want to listen to it, turn it up a little bit if you can. For those of you, if you don't really have a good audio program, I recommend Audacity. It's free, and you can, put your files to it, and you can turn up the volume. You can turn up the gain on it and really listen, loop certain sections if you need to, so you can hear it multiple times. And there's all kinds of videos on YouTube out there on how to use Audacity. So even if you like pull it up and you're like, how do I use this? It really isn't that complicated. So just a little tip for you. So my wife is constantly saying, Ouija. I say Ouija because I am like about Luigi. Luigi board. It's Luigi board. I've always said Ouija. Sometimes I say Ouija, but I pretty much always say Ouija board. That's just stuck. It's just stuck in my mind for years and years. So I'm not being an amateur rook. I'm just saying, for me, it's just been something that's stuck in my head for years and years and for decades. Okay? So, yeah, I know you love me. I love you too. Happy Valentine's Day. All right. So, now, when you review your evidence, this is important. There's 3 main classes of EVPs. The very first class, or class C, is the lowest level. Okay? And this is when you capture something that may sound like paranormal. Something could be a growl possibly, which I hope not. Or again, it could just be something you just can't make out at all. Something you can tell. A lot of times you'll be able to tell that it's somebody talking, but you just can't make out what they're saying at all. But it's there. So that's typically a Class C. Class B EVP. This is going to be when you capture a voice and you think you hear it say something, and you listen to it back, and you're like, oh, I think it says this. Well, to classify it, if you got to think of it like this: if you played that clip for say 10 people, and 5 of them said one thing and 5 said the other, chances are that's a Class B EVP. When it's kind of indecisive, but people do say they do hear something, but they get mixed results, that's typically Class B. Class A is when you get the majority of people that's pretty much going to say, yes, that's what it said. That's a Class A. So again, I've said this before in other videos, do not go around with your little clickbait and say, I got a Class A EVP, and then it's like, bah, 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 bah. And you're like, what? It's not a Class A EVP. All right, so, folks, that is probably a little bit of a general lesson on EVPs. I always say when you go, another tip as well is, I don't like to carry it around on me. I don't like to record and carry this around, because even your best recorders, if you carry them around in your pocket, sometimes you just hear it slopping around in your pocket. All right, so if you're gonna use them, just set it down on a table in the room, press record, and then do your EVP session. So I'm going to attempt to do a little bit of a live EVP session here in our house. I think the one thing I will need to do, let's see. Let's stop the background. All right. So there, hopefully you guys don't hear any more background. All right, and let's see what's going on in the chat. I'm going to move my camera a little bit, guys. All right. Sorry about that. I had to move my camera because it was blocking some of my chat. All right, so let me catch up here. So it's like Bob and Terry Lynn, my wife, is going back and forth talking. Newbie, whatever. If it helps to get your team to say something at varying distances to better identify during review. Wrist recorders work well too. Yeah, and that's some good tips. You know, and I think what Bob's saying, just to kind of clarify for you all, is he's saying, you know, if you have a paranormal team that's present, have them talk or say a few different things in the background. That way, when you're doing the evidence review, like, you know, you might have somebody in the background like, hey, this is Josh just talking. This is Josh. Hey, this is Mike. Hey, this is Bob. Hey, this is Terry. If you get the different people, you can kind of identify their voices. That way, sometimes when you do hear another voice, you're like, wait a minute, that's nobody on the team. But, again, I always say this as well. Most of the time, when you hear an EVP, it's typically created in the white noise. Okay? It's in the white noise. It's usually not. You can almost kind of tell a layering difference. You can kind of tell when there's people talking in the distance and things like that. Whereas a lot of EVPs tend to be that white noise manipulated into words, if that makes sense. I don't know. Again, it just takes a little bit of time, and you get that ear for it once you've reviewed enough EVPs. But good tip from Mr. Fountain there is, again, get your team, get some people to talk in the distance just to be able to identify their voices later on. Again, make them use their names so you know who they are when you're reviewing. And most likely, you'll probably know your team anyway. So, all right. But yeah, now let me see here. I'm going to turn this on. And it always helps to know your equipment, right? So, always make sure you know how to use your equipment. Now, it's booting up. See, I'll try to see if I can. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. So, looks pretty good. Says there's no files right now. It's got a lot of record time. Looks like 13 hours and 38 minutes based on my SD card. So that's pretty good. So this recorder right here, and it's on 96,024-bit. Again, one of the highest settings, and it's set to record for 13 and a half hours basically. So if you do an investigation for 13 and a half hours, that's insane. So trust me, this is plenty of time on here. All right, so what we're going to do, the first thing you really want to do, again, we're going to set this down. Yeah, and Terry Lynn's talking about one of the EVPs on Bob's website. I mean, one of these days, guys, my wife and I, we still have some of our EVPs from some of our investigations. They're on a DVD-ROM somewhere, or a CD-ROM, and my computer, it's pretty new. I built it, but I don't even have a disc. I don't even have a CD drive in here because everything's digital. You know, everything's USB and flash drives now. But I know she's got it on her laptop. Anyways, once we find it, we'll get some of ours posted, hopefully on our website as well, for you guys. So now we'll do an EVP session right now. Again, this isn't going to be perfect because this is sort of on the fly, but the biggest thing is just ask some questions. And what you'll notice is once I start recording, I'm going to usually introduce myself. I'm usually going to be respectful to the spirits. And then I'm just going to ask some basic questions. You're just trying to find out who they are, if they have a message, things like that, if they have anything they want to say. And I'm just going to stop talking in between and give them a little bit of time to respond, because you don't know if they're responding or not. You know, you want to give them, you know, good maybe 4 or 5 seconds in between your questions. And we don't have to do like a real long session. We're just going to we'll do a short live session. So, all right. So here we go. I'm going to hit record. Hi, my name is Josh, and I just want to reach out and to try and communicate with any spirits that may be around me right now. I just want to say that you're welcome to communicate. Hopefully you're positive. We'd like you to be a positive spirit. If you would like to talk into this recorder right here, this device, if you can see me pointing at it, you can use this device to communicate with me. So, first of all, what's your name? Do you have anything you would like to say to me or my family? Where do you come from? Do you know that you have passed on? Are you a male or a female? I'm doing a small recording session, a small communication session. So if there's anything you'd like to say, now is your chance, because I'm going to end communication. Okay, if you have said anything on the recording, I just want to say thank you for communicating with me. I'm going to end communication now. Thank you. All right, so as you can see, that was just like a real basic, on-the-fly, short EVP session. Again, yeah, Bob. So, Bob's funny. Hi, my name is Josh, and I just want to reach out and to try and communicate with any spirits that may be around me right now. I just want to say that you're welcome to communicate. Hopefully you're positive. We'd like you to be a positive spirit. If you would like to talk into this recorder right here, this device, if you can see me pointing at it, you can use this device to communicate with me. So, first of all, what's your name? Do you have anything you would like to say to me or my family? Where do you come from? Do you know that you have passed on? Are you a male or a female? I'm doing a small recording session, a small communication session. So if there's anything you'd like to say, now is your chance, because I'm going to end communication. Okay, if you have said anything on the recording. Okay, so I'm going to stop it right now. But, okay, so guys, as you can see, I was doing like a live review just out of the speaker of the recorder. However, what I would recommend is I always recommend that you take the card out, put it, download your file, and then play it through like Audacity or something. Put the headphones on, and really, you want to have it turned up, and you really want to listen to that background. Just going through the speakers, live reviews, I didn't really hear anything necessarily, but it doesn't mean that, again, who knows? We could have had a longer one. Who knows? Sometimes you could do multiple sessions. If my wife was down here and we were together, sometimes her energy in the room may invite spirits to open and communicate. There's always going to be different circumstances, but I just wanted to kind of do a live EVP session for you guys right on the spot, just so you can kind of see how it's done, or how we typically like to do it, which, again, you can see that I'm being respectful. I'm asking basic questions. Probably the least favorite question I asked was, do you know if you passed on? I don't know how to feel about that, but we do try to ask a variety of questions to elicit a response, because, again, you never know which question may strike a nerve. And I don't mean a bad nerve. I just mean, may provoke them to speak. And I don't want to say provoke in a bad way. We're not taunting them. We're not going to force them to try to talk to us. Okay, so you can see we try to do it respectful. And then, of course, I wanted to end the session and say, hey, I'm done communicating. So Bob says, more often than not, you get only seconds from an hour log recording. And that's true. Like Bob was saying, or even, myself, again, you may go through hours of evidence review, and you may only get 1 or 2 EVPs, sometimes none. Again, a good example is so many people know about the St. Augustine Lighthouse. Okay, it was made really famous by ghost hunters. Taps have been there a few times. So, it was one of their best episodes back in the day. My wife and I went there, and we got to investigate there. And, we took a bunch of pictures. We were fanatics about pictures and videos. But we did a bunch of stuff. And the thing is I sat there for hours and hours sifting through evidence, and we could not find anything except the only EVP. We got one EVP, and it was while we were sitting in the truck. Actually, when my wife was sitting in the truck in the pouring rain out in the parking lot. That's the only EVP we got from the entire St. Augustine Lighthouse, which we could have just pulled up and done that when we got there. So, my wife said that they follow me around. I always see things out of the corner of my eye here. Also, sometimes light shadows flying in front of me, especially in the bedroom. Yeah, I mean, I think my wife and I, we've both talked about it, and we both have, like experiences here in our new home. So we know that there's something here. We haven't had any negative feeling, and, who knows? And maybe it's something that just doesn't want to communicate, or maybe not be ready to communicate, or who knows. But yeah, and then Bob saying worst ever after 23 hours of footage or evidence review, he got only a total of 7 seconds. So let that be a lesson to all you new upcomers that want to get into paranormal investigating. Again, good investigators, you're not going to force evidence. You're not going to make up evidence, or you're not going to jump to conclusions. You may do things for hours, and you may not even get evidence. Or even like Bob said, 23 hours of evidence for 7 seconds. But yes, that's why we do it, is for that little bit of evidence, or that one good solid chunk of evidence that we can say, yeah, that's good. I like that. That's a good EVP, or, I can't explain that. Again, you might capture, in an investigation, you might come across 10 things that are paranormal, but you might debunk 9 of them. See what I'm saying? So that one piece, that one thing sometimes, that could be what it's all about. Could be worth it. Or it could just be that one thing. You're like, oh, I only got one little thing, you know? So, and my wife and I experienced that too. Again, we've had investigations with multiple EVPs, and then, you know, again, like the lighthouse was like one. I mean, you just never know. So, and even when my wife and I are, like, I always love to tell the story in, like, our very first EVP we ever did in our own home. It's like, we did like a 15 or 20 minute sessions, like a couple of them, but the EVP, the best one we got was when we did a 30-second recording, and we just really wasn't set yet, so we just hit stop. And it was like in that 30-second sort of, not really blooper reel, but just a section of recording. We just, you know, wasn't quite ready, so we just stopped it. And then, you know, in that 30 seconds, we caught almost like a child and a man screaming at the top of his voice. So it's just crazy how it works. You just never know. So that's why I wanted to cover EVPs tonight a little bit, just talk about that. I just thought it'd be a fun subject since we didn't really have like a full show set up because of, you know, my work tonight. So yeah, but I will get a chance to download this file at some point. Maybe later on tonight, I'll try to download this file and just go through with the headphones and see if I find anything. If I find anything, I'll post it on the Facebook page, like the Facebook group. So if you guys are a member of the Facebook group, go to the Facebook group, the Everything Paranormal Show. It's a group, and join that if you haven't. If you have, then I'll try to post that on there and let you know. So Bob says, I turn on my recorder as soon as I enter the investigation. Well, yeah, I mean, you should try to record, and again, that's why you got a lot of record time on these digital recorders. You know, again, I don't like to walk around with them per se, but a lot of times when you first get to a place, you can start putting your recorders out and start recording, and you can leave them in rooms either the whole time, or, you know, some people will stop it and start it. It just all depends on your style, what you want to do. You know, there was one of the times, I think, like my wife, at the time, back in the day, I can remember she had a better recorder. I used to capture I probably caught the most EVPs on mine, but I think because mine was cheaper. But she had more run time. She had more record time. So there was times when we would set hers up as a room recorder, and then we'd have mine we'd do short recordings with mine. Like, you know, we'd actually just do the EVP sessions with mine sitting there. Ooh, sorry about that, guys. It's been a long day. I'd worked really long, so I didn't mean to yawn on camera. I hate doing that, but it's live. It's late. What do you expect? I'm going to be talking and rambling goofy. So anyways, let's see. But yeah, I am gonna try to download this and see if I can see anything about it. I don't really expect anything major on that, but if I do, my wife and I would probably do more investigating of this place, our own home. Probably one night when we really feel like having that paranormal night in our own house, we might break out the dowsing rods and the recorders, and, you know, we might do a full-blown investigation in our own home or something. Who knows? You know, we'll have to check it out. So, other than that, let's see. Well, we've been doing this for a little over a half hour. I don't know how much longer we'll do. If you guys have any other questions out there, comments, concerns, let's see, anything else coming up? Well, again, if you're watching this and you made it through and you've muddled through this show, I apologize. It'll get better, I swear. But we got some more guests coming up. I've got a few guests coming down the pipeline. I do. I've got at least 3 different people that have said, yeah, they want to be on the show. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. So if any of you are watching this, get back with me. Let me know so we can get you set up and get you booked into the times. Also, if you're watching this and you're out there, and if you're somebody that has an interesting, story in the paranormal, and you want to come on here and you want to tell your story, or if you are involved, if you're a psychic, if you're into paranormal and you would like to be on the show, by all means, let me know. All right, because I do have people that express interest, but then when I reach out to them, all of a sudden they're hard to get a hold of. So make sure you let me know as soon as possible, and I'll try to get you booked in there. My wife says she wants Bob back on. My wife wants Bob to be on here like every episode. So I mean, that's a good compliment. It was a good primer on user quarters. I appreciate it, Bob. I mean, we try to educate. Bob's really helpful on that. Again, he likes to teach classes and things like that and do like publics. And that's how I am. I'm very instructional based. I really like to do a lot of training and speaking and things like that. That's why I'm on camera. Let's see. They can have some very good EVPs on my website. So they can have some very good EVPs. So Bob's got fairy EVPs. So if y'all ever heard about fairies overseas, they believe in fairies. He's got some EVPs of them apparently on his website. So go over there and check out his fairy good EVPs. Oh, we love Bob. We got to pick on him. Like I said, he's like a member of the family, and he's always on the show. So we just gotta pick on him, especially his very good EVPs. What's up, UK? We love your fairies over there. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. I'd love to do some investigations with. I've got a few different people from the UK sold some books over there. So some people over in the United Kingdom have a copy of my book, My Paranormal: A Guide to the Spirit Realms, available on Amazon. Don't pick on him. Oh, if we didn't pick on him, my wife, if we didn't pick on him, Bob would think that we don't love him anymore. So we kid because we care. Oh God, remember that. But yeah, UK friends, I love you guys over there. I'd be cool to do some investigations over there in England. Again, it's very similar with their paranormal. It's very similar. Again, they've got just a few different things with fairies and things like that, and maybe even a little more elemental too at times. But it's pretty cool, like very similar. And I have some of them on Facebook groups, things like that. I haven't had Cheryl Knight yet. So yeah. Am I supposed to plug them again? I plug these guys like every show. So for those of you, if you haven't seen you got to look up Paranormal Underground magazine. All right, it's run by Cheryl Knight, and the thing is amazing. Let's see. Well, while we're here online, let's do something. Let's do something. You know what? We're live. I don't care. We're just gonna do something fun. Let's drag that over here. Let's just look it up. Let's look it up. All right. Okay, so what happened to my audio? Somehow my audio went dead. All right, we're back on. It's my wife, folks. Yeah, I got my audio working.
Okay.
You're on the air.
You know. Oh, hi. No audio. Just letting you know. Hi, Bob.
Hi, I'm just showing Paranormal Underground magazine. When did it go out?
It's still out right now.
Well, I got it. It's back on now, but
No, because I can't hear anything.
well,
I got you on the TV and you're not talking.
there's a delay.
Now there you are. Now you are back.
When did it go out, though?
Like about an hour ago. I don't know. Like. Oh my god. And then all of a sudden you hear music playing. It's my phone. Okay, I love you. Bye.
All right. Love you. There's my wife, folks. All right, so technical difficulties. All right. So there. Anyways, back to what we're talking about. So, all right. So for those of you that didn't hear me, look, go online here, type in Paranormal Underground magazine, and the search will come up. And then I went to paranormalunderground.net. Look at this magazine. I mean, look how gorgeous this magazine is. High def photos, artwork. I mean, come on. Like, if you're into paranormal, folks, look at this. Paranormal Underground, registered trademark, volume 13, issue 1. I mean, look at this. Aiden Sinclair, Grumblethorpe, Haunted Historic Home. I mean, the Wailing Girl of Dead End Road. And guess what, folks? Bob Fountain in the chat, you guys have seen him on my show. Well, guess what? He's a contributor to this. He writes articles in this every once in a while. All right? He's a regular in here. So my wife's hearing herself. She's like, God, I sound like a spaz. So, but look at this. Now, like I said, when you go through this magazine, this digital copy, it's just like this cover you see right here, this example cover they've got. Just high def photos, artwork, good articles. It's a full-blown magazine, guys. This isn't just, I mean, I'm telling you. And if you're into paranormal, this is good stuff. All right. And again, it's like I'm turning into a whole Paranormal Underground magazine commercial at this point. But I've been plugging these guys. Almost every episode. And I figured, hey, let's actually pull this up and take a look. So, yeah, you can see here. Oh, and look, folks, they've got radio. Look at this. I mean, let me get it right. See, right below where it says now let's talk on my thing. Hold on. Can we get rid of that? There, we got rid of that. Okay. So now, look, folks, you've got radio. Look at this. Radio. They have a podcast. All right. So as long as you still watch mine or go to Spotify and listen to this. Anyways, and of course you can advertise with them. So if you guys are a business out there and you want to advertise with them, let me look at that. There's all kinds of stuff. They got overnight investigations that they're throwing out there. So look, folks, they got a lot going on. The magazine, what is this? About Us and digital subscription, print copies on demand, testimonials, submissions. Anyways, I just thought I'd let you know because since Bob mentioned Cheryl Knight, like I said, she's the owner. So, guys, if you have not gotten your subscription of Paranormal Magazine going right now, you've got to go do it. It's not that much. I mean, what do they say? Look, let's hit subscribe. 12-month subscription. I mean, look at this. And look at that. Look at this right here. Look how awesome this is. This is badass, folks. And look at that alien and stuff. That's cool. And now, see, I've already been I already get it. I can go in my email and show you. I get it. I can prove it. But I don't want to go in my email live on TV because I don't know. I've got some confidential stuff right now. Some things I'm working on. But yeah, so there you go, folks. I just thought, what the heck? We'd go check out some things. So let's look at spectraltech.org. Let's go check out Bob. Bob, we're going to your website. Look at that. So now, look at this. Spectraltech.org. We're in your website. Evidence page. Look at this. Look at this. Spirit trail going into your digital recorder. All right, so here we got some EVP sessions. So you guys wanted to hear some live EVPs. Let's see if we can get one to play on here. So Nick asked, have you ever been down the Trail of Tears? You can hear a response saying, yes, I have.
Have you been down Trail of Tears?
All right. Now, I'm not going to go through and play all of his stuff on air, but check it out. Where's the one? I love this. This is the one my wife loves. When she says, okay, see, a female voice at an antique store tells us that she didn't mean to scare us off. Listen to this, folks. This is what I would say is like a Class A EVP. Can you all hear the EVP? Hold on.
Do you need us to help you with anything?
Could you all hear that?
Do you need us to help you with anything?
Let me see. Do I have it turned up all the way? All right, let me try one more time and see if you guys can hear this real good. Let me know in the comments if you can hear this.
Do you need us to help you with anything?
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's a really good, that's what I would consider a Class A EVP because, again, you can clearly, you can clearly hear that, didn't mean to scare you off. So, yeah, that's a really good one. Let's see, what else, Bob? Is there another one you like on here? There's a bunch of good ones. I mean, these guys, if you wanted to check out some cool evidence, come here. You can see there's a whole bunch of EVPs to check out. After stating concerns about the spirit follows home from Waverly Hills, we get a response of not tonight.
What did you say?
Stay out of my house.
So you can hear that pretty good too. That's a really good one. I don't know if you guys could hear that. So, but yeah, I just thought it'd be cool since we're live, just killing some time, having some fun, y'all. I figured, what the heck, we'd just do a little bit of web surfing, check out some cool stuff. And you can see here, Bob is showing a mist forming in a closet. That's not a real picture. That would be scary, though, if that was something. Like, hey, this is looking out a window, and this this happened to me. Yeah, that would be pretty scary. Here's the gallery for Bob's page. See, a lot of cool stuff. Some of his investigators checking out some different things and out there investigating cemeteries where people are dead. They didn't die there, though. No, it's usually like when people investigate cemeteries, they like to do historic ones where there's usually like a battlefield or things like that. Some pretty cool photos. You guys got to check out this website. I'm already doing it for you. There's Bob. And he's got some of my thumbnails in there. Cool. So yeah, folks, check out spectraltech.org. If you want to go to his evidence page, check out his gallery there and things like that. Some pretty cool stuff. His homepage. You can see here, you got the different team members, right? You can see all the different people on his team and Bob himself. And, of course, the Paranormal Underground magazine. Of course, he's plugging that as well. So pretty good stuff, folks. Pretty good stuff. All right. So hopefully this has been a good, fun show for some of you that are watching it. I don't know, again, if you're going to watch this. I don't know if anybody other than the few live people here is actually going to make it through this show when they're watching it. They're going to be like, what the heck? Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've done pretty good tonight, folks. We did a live EVP session, listened to some playback, talked about EVPs. Hopefully you guys learned maybe some tips or something on EVPs. And we got a chance to check out the Paranormal Underground magazine website, along with spectraltech.org. Remember, that's Spectral. I know I don't always enunciate everything very well. Bob always thinks I'm saying like Special Tech or something. Speckle Tech. So, but it's spectraltech.org. Spectraltech.org. So go check it out, folks. And you know what? I am going to my website on here real quick. You know why? Because why not? And look at there. Mine's full of advertisements. Because I need money, folks. Click on some of this shit. Come on. Look at over here. Look up in this corner up above my head. It says looking for ghost hunting equipment. Click here. See? I've got the hookup, folks. All kinds of stuff on here and showing my Facebook and Twitter stuff and links to spiritual warfare and SRS paranormal. And don't worry, Bob, I got to get you a link in there. I just haven't updated my website here. So I've got some cool photos of some old abandoned places or rundown places for sale, spooky looking places that are just really cool in my opinion. So you guys need to come on here. Check out my site. Click like. All right. I've got some likes on here. So come on here. Check out my website also. All right. So folks, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Sorry we didn't have like an official structured show, but stick around. We got shows coming up. We got some guests lined up that are going to be joining me. So for those of you, though, that did make it through the show, thank you so much again. And my wife and I do appreciate y'all's support. You've been so cool and so kind. For those of you that do show up every week or the comments that you send us in Facebook and things like that. Again, you guys have been so cool, and we love having the support behind us, and we just hope that we can continue to grow and get better as time goes forward, and as the more support we get, the bigger we get. Eventually, this will be something we'll be able to do for you guys on a better scale, on a bigger scale, and we'll be able to do even more things for you guys. So until next week, guys, seek the truth. Good night.